Hey guys, Adam from Luxury Auto Mall, and hope you are doing well. Today, we're going to be looking at the 22 GLS 450. This one is for sale as of today, July 11th. The stock number is M5928A, and I really like this car a lot. It is 45 grand. It's 3 rows, split second row or captain seat in the second row. It's certified. It's under 60,000 miles. There's just a lot to love here, and man, the cargo capacity and everything like that, but we're gonna get into that in just a second. For you guys who don't know, a certified pre-owned or CPO for Mercedes-Benz gives you an additional year of manufacturer warranty and unlimited miles, making 3-year-old, or in this case, 4-year-old Mercedes-Benzes just an incredible deal as long as they are certified, because what you can do is you can actually add on a service contract and you still get additional years and unlimited miles after that. So if you are driving a ton of miles, you're a highway warrior, these are really worth looking at. But speaking of looking at, let's go ahead, let's do a little walk around on it because I've got a lot to say about this. Okay, so in the last video, we actually looked at the BMW X7. So this is obviously the competitor to that. And in some ways, I like this better. In other ways, the X7 is better. I think this is all just going to come down to personal preference. But let's just talk about styling for a second. I think that this is kind of a very understated but classic look to a vehicle. I think that in 5 to 8 years' time, this is going to look just as good now as it does. It's going to look just as good 8 to 10 years from now as it does now. Just these headlights, you've got the dual projector beams, the front grille. I guess this is kind of a homage to like an earlier Mercedes-Benz. And just to kind of give you an idea of what I mean about, I think Mercedes-Benz does this really well, where they have classic styling that just really doesn't really age. It just always looks good. We have a 2012 S63 AMG that's going through recon right now, and man, it just still looks so good. Now obviously it's an S63, so you know it's a rowdy car. Let me know below if you want to see a video on that, because I'm gonna do it anyways, but I just want to see how many people want to see the video on it. But take a look at the side profile on this thing. Just nothing really stands out, right? It's kind of subdued, you know, it's not aggressive or anything like that, but I think that's more of a benefit than it is a hindrance. Sometimes we try to just make things a little bit too aggressive and it backfires, but back end, again, kind of toned down, not a lot going on back here, but I don't think that is a detriment. But okay, so for anybody who's interested in buying it, looks like brand new tires, wheels look like they're in good shape, paint looks like it's in good shape. You know, it does have almost 60,000 miles, so it's going to have a few little blemishes here and there. It's not going to be perfect, but glass is in good shape. Front end is in good shape. I don't know. Here's the driver's side wheel. There you go. There's not really a lot to say about the outside in my opinion, because again, I kind of already went over it. Really understated styling, and I think that's a good thing. So let's go ahead and look in the back really fast, and then we'll hop in, go for a ride, talk about some of the interior features. So this is my camera gear, please don't mind me, but here is with the third row down, obviously. Now the only thing I have to say is that the captain seats are a little close, right? So if you're an adult and you're trying to slide through there, gonna be a little bit of a tight fit. But as a dad with 3 kids, I think this is like a perfect scenario, right? You've got the setup right there where if the kid needs to get into the back row, they can slide right through there really easily until they get into more of the teenage years. The only kind of bad thing is I just find that these seats, the fold or the going up isn't bad, but when it goes back down, in my opinion, it's just a little slow. Like I'm still holding the button to go down, still holding, like it's just slow in my opinion, but that's just me. The nice part about these though is as a full-grown adult, if you want to sit in the back end, you've got quite a bit of leg room back there. And of course you have plenty of leg room in the second row. I'll show you guys that here in a second. But as you notice, even with the third row up, I still had plenty of room for my camera bag and my camera cube right here. This is around 45 liters. So just to kind of give you an idea, like it's not a small bag by any means, and it did just fine. You do have some buttons in the cup holder right here for, I believe it's the second row seat. And then you've got a nice full pano sunroof, and you've got some HVAC, or sorry, just air control vents back there, cup holder in the rear. Let's hop into the second row so you can see what we have going on here. But again, 5'9", and I've got a hand width depending on which part of the seat you're touching. But 5'9", very comfortable position. These seats are extremely comfortable. The rear AC controls back here. I do not remember if this is heated rear seats or not. Oh, I just turned on a button. I don't know what that's for. But what's really cool, oh, yep, it is heated second row right there, boom. So what's really nice, I like what Mercedes-Benz does here, is all of your seat controls are right up here on the door. These window switches, I know this seems so stupid, but they just feel really nice to press. I don't know why. It's not as clicky as the X7. It's kind of more of like a muted soft touch when you're pressing down on it, but just feels nice. It just has a nice ton of tactile feedback when you're using it. I'm not going to get in the third row and show you the legroom back there because I'd have to pop up the seat and everything like that, and I don't want to go through all of that. I just kind of want to get into the car and get to driving it because I feel like the inside is where this car really, really shines. So let's get into that. Okay, so let me start off first by saying that what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put some specs on the car up right here in the side. And the reason why I want to do that is because I'm not super familiar with all the horsepower, torque, towing, and fuel efficiency kind of stats that the GLS 450 has. What I want to talk about is the way that it drives. And this, I drove this home yesterday in comfort mode, and then I've been driving around with it a little bit this morning in comfort mode. And I think that this comfort mode just absolutely nails it. It's not so neutered down that you dislike accelerating in it or getting up to speed in it. Like, I feel like this is just such a perfect balance of daily drivable kind of setting for me, right? Like, I feel like it's going to give me a good fuel economy return. This has the 48 volt, I believe, hybrid system. So again, it's going to help you out with your fuel economy, getting up to speed, all that kind of stuff. But it's just, this comfort mode just absolutely nails it. One of the first things I want to talk about with Mercedes-Benz, actually the two things that I want to talk about, is some of the controls that Mercedes-Benz has that I really enjoy. This drive selector stalk that they have on the right-hand side of the steering wheel, I have always liked it. The first time that I climbed into a Mercedes, I was like, yes, that is such a good idea. It frees up all this center console room for stuff like what they've implemented here, which just personally, again, I think is the right way to do it. For most Americans, they're going to be like, oh, so you freed up more room for cup holders because that's what's important is drinks. Shout out to Starbucks, right? The second thing I want to talk about is their implementation of, so Cadillac has the wheel, BMW has the wheel as well. Audi used to have the wheel. I don't think they have the wheel anymore, but they're bringing it back because it is the far superior way to input stuff into the screen. And I will not be told otherwise, but this trackpad is really, really nice to use. It is so intuitive. Oh, sorry, that was a quick red light. It's so intuitive. The haptic feedback on it is just so well done. Once you get used to where all your settings are and everything like that, and how stuff, where your buttons are and everything like that, it is extremely easy to get exactly where you're used to or need to go. Sorry. If you're used to using a laptop at all with a trackpad, you're going to feel right at home in this thing. It's not even going to be an issue at all. Where it's particularly useful is when I was trying to adjust some of the sound settings, you just kind of like flick your hand and adjust the settings. Now, of course, a rotary dial, like going like this, there's nothing necessarily wrong with it. I just find that this is just such a well done way to go about it, especially because the size of it to me is like perfect. It doesn't need to be any bigger. It definitely doesn't need to be any smaller because size matters. And the button placements on the sides and everything like that, up and down on either side, just really well done. The volume knob is kind of like a rotary. It's a dial where you go like this up and down, and just so well done because at me just resting my hand right here, which, by the way, I don't know if the camera's going to pick this up, but Mercedes has kind of like this palm rest thing. So here's the trackpad, and then there's like a palm rest thing to the back side of it. The amount of people that climb in and think that's the gear selector, just super funny. And I don't blame them. I'm just saying, like, it's just interesting how people naturally gravitate towards that. But anyways, just you resting your hand right here, I immediately know where my volume knob is going to be because it's just off to the right-hand side of the trackpad. The home button for the trackpad's right to the top right. I don't know, like within like a couple of days, you're going to know exactly how to drive this thing. And that is intuitive design that I really, really like a lot. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is this screen. This screen is so well done. It is bright. It is beautiful. The settings are super easy to fly through, to get through. Now, in the BMW X7 video that I talked about, the BMW, in my opinion, is probably more customizable, but this is just, I don't know, if you're a person that needs all that customizability, which I would argue most people on the road probably don't, but if you are somebody that needs it, man, this, the BMW is the way to go. But this one, I feel like just nails it. Now, I went through a couple of different themes on the gauges here on the dashboard. And I will say that the classic one, in my opinion, is probably by far and away the best one. They have like a progressive one and a minimalistic one. And the minimalistic one, I think, would be really nice for, like, say, nighttime driving, where you really don't want a lot going on. You want as little backlight as possible, so on and so forth. But this interface just absolutely nails it. Now, the only ding I'm going to give on this particular unit, and I could be wrong on this, so I'm not saying it's absolutely true, but I don't think it has adaptive cruise control. For me, I prefer just regular cruise control, so it doesn't matter to me at all. But I know for a lot of people, they've gotten used to adaptive cruise control, and so they would be a little annoyed that it doesn't have it. It does have a heated steering wheel, so that is like the most important function, and cooled seats, which is also a very important function. Oh, hold on a second. We're getting onto the highway here. Let's go ahead and put her in sport. Gonna do a little pull. Oh, yeah. Okay, 0 to 60 time in this, I believe, is somewhere right around 5.5 seconds. And I don't know if the X7 just does a better job of like rolling on the power and hiding the torque band, or if this has more torque than the X7, but that was immediately more fun to accelerate than the X7 was. I believe this is an inline 6 twin turbocharged engine. Again, you've got the 48-volt hybrid, mild hybrid system is what they call it, to assist with stuff like that. And very, very nice. But going back to cruise control, I prefer the dumb cruise control. So it does have lane assist. It's getting mad at me because I'm drifting just a little bit here. But setting cruise is extremely easy to do. It's just right here on the left-hand side of your steering wheel. There's no funkiness to it at all as far as trying to set it. And the stalk on the left-hand side is really easy to figure out your different wiper controls and everything. I don't know, I just really feel like Mercedes has really nailed kind of the features, but not detracting away from function of the brand. And again, I'm gonna point out styling. I feel like this styling it's muted. It's not crazy bold or anything like that, but I feel like it's really going to last quite a while. The only thing that I would personally enjoy is the AMG steering wheel. Like, that is such a sexy steering wheel. Like, let's get real. But a flat bottom steering wheel in an SUV, do you really need it? No, but it just looks cool. I think it also has the perforated leather, which just feels so nice to have. Yeah, no problems there. Okay, we're gonna go into resume. Oh, we need to increase speed just a little bit. Oh, kind of bumped it. Okay, all right, I've got a knock against it now. I've got one knock against it, and that is that it is If you do a light push up, it's a 1 mile per hour increase. If you do a double click push up on the left hand side, it is a 5 mile an hour increase. Really, really nice to have that, except it's really easy to do your double click up. Right there, I was sitting there going, like trying to get it like actually dialed into the speed that I want. Now, I don't have CarPlay hooked up on this because I'm recording a video right now and I've only been driving this overnight, so haven't really had didn't really see the necessary need to hook up CarPlay. But one thing that I do want to point out, again, using CarPlay with this trackpad is just, it's so nice. Now, this does come with air suspension, and I think I'm almost positive the X7 did as well. Really, once you start getting up into these 3-row SUVs in the luxury brands, almost all of them come with air ride nowadays. But man, this thing just rides super nice. I'm in sport mode, so it's supposed to be like the stiffer suspension, and I genuinely, I think I could just drive around like this all day long. The steering wheel is quite a bit heavier, so I think I would put the steering wheel in like comfort mode if I was going to daily drive in an individual setting. But man, I don't know what it is, but it just seems like this really just checks a lot of boxes over and over and over again. Is that dude? I'm pretty sure dude was just doing a wheelie onto the freeway. He was still far ahead. I don't think the camera's gonna pick up on it, but good luck, bro. All right, guys, so that's pretty much going to do it for this video. If you enjoyed it, you know what? I'm going to go against the grain here. Don't subscribe to the channel because if I get too successful on here, then it means I don't get to sell cars anymore. And then I will just have to do YouTube full-time. And does anybody really like a full-time YouTuber? No. So again, I'm going to go over the price as of today, July 11th. It is $44,991. So let's call it 45 grand, right? Miles is just a tick over 60,000. Again, certified, and the stock number is M5928A. If you are interested in this car or any other car, reach out to me at adamhubercarsales.com or adam.huber@cadillacofsiouxfalls.com. Talk to you guys later.